And the other really cool thing is that you can display different data in a view depending on the current user's assigned role. And that's a new filtering parameter that we've added. And I'm going to demonstrate that here. So yeah, so I've got this view set up. It's a simple database. It's showing students that are registered for courses. And you'll notice that there's different courses here. We have biology, chemistry, physics. And we have teachers registered on our site, and they have an assigned user role depending on the course that they teach. And we only want to show the students that are registered for that teacher's course. So previously, if you wanted to set something like this up, you would have had to use multiple views, and you would have had to restrict each view depending on the user role. But now this is possible to do with just a single view and the new advanced filtering. So here I am in the view backend, and I'm going to scroll down, and here I am in the view settings, and I come here to filter and sort. I actually have this pre-configured. Let me go ahead and delete all these filters, and we're going to do this again from scratch because I think that'll be really helpful. So here I am on the filter and sort tab, and I'm going to add a new advanced filter by clicking add condition. And the first thing that you might notice if you use advanced filtering is that the interface is a little bit different, because like Zach was mentioning, we now support adding groups of conditions, and you can also nest those groups. So you can have groups of conditions inside other groups of conditions, which makes for some very powerful and complex functionality. So yeah, let's proceed with our example. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use the current user role parameter. So unfortunately, you probably won't see in my browser here, but I'm going to open this dropdown and select that parameter. And now you can see it's changed, current user role. And this can either be has any of or has all of. And we can leave it like that for now. And I'm going to go ahead and select the user role here. And I'm going to choose biology teacher. And then the next thing I'm going to do is add another condition. And for this parameter, I'm going to choose a field in my form, which is the course field, and set that to biology as well. So these two things match now. And the last thing I want to do is make this an and condition using and logic. So both of these things have to match. So the current user role has to be biology teacher, and the current course should also be biology.
And one of the things that to remember while you're setting up these filters, because it can get a little complicated as you get into nesting levels, is that the goal is that you can read these out as a sentence, and it makes sense. So current user role has any of biology teacher, and course is biology. So just remember, if you get lost while configuring these things, you can read them out as a sentence, and they should make sense.
Exactly. Okay, so let's keep going here, because we don't only have biology teachers. We have other teachers registered too. So I'm going to append another condition group here. And that I'm going to use the OR logic. And here I'm going to set this up pretty much the same way that we did before. Current user role has any of, but here I'm going to select chemistry teacher. And then I'm going to add the second condition, which is the course field is, and that currently is set to biology. That's incorrect. We'll change that to chemistry. So now these two things match too. And once again, that should be an AND group. So we'll change the logic there. And then finally, we have physics as well. So we need to append another group. And again, set that up pretty much the same way, or exactly the same way we had it, except we're going to change the user role to physics teacher. And we're going to change the course to match that. So that should also be physics. And that's also an AND group, so that's correct. And all of these groups are linked by OR. So essentially what this means is that either these two conditions have to match, or these two have to match, or these two have to match. So what this does is it ensures that the biology teacher teachers can only see the students registered for their course, biology, and the chemistry teachers see the students registered for the chemistry course, etc. So I think everything looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and update the view. And then what I'm going to do is actually log in as different users, and we'll see how the entries here change. So let me go ahead and log in as the biology teacher, for example. And then we'll refresh the page here. All right, and as you can see, I'm only seeing students registered for biology course. Some of these students are registered for multiple courses, but that's okay. They're all registered for biology. So we've got Michael, Sarah, Robert, Jessica, etc. And then let me go ahead and log out, and I'll log in as the chemistry teacher. And we'll see how those entries change. So if I refresh the view, here we go. We can see we're viewing all the students registered for the chemistry course. As you can see, we've got Michael, Lisa, James, Emily, David.
Yeah, and this also integrates with the export widget that we were talking about earlier. So we know that a lot of times people need to quickly export students and registrations and things like that. So you can add a widget to this view, and teachers, administrators can easily filter you can have pre-filtered results and export those results to CSV.
Yeah. And yeah, just to stress again, previously, prior to GravityView 2.21, to set this up, you would have had to use multiple views. In this case, you would need 3 different views, and you would have had to restrict each view by user role. But now you can do this just using one view and using one advanced filter with these multiple conditions set up like we have it here.